struggle to build your face after doing your foundation? My name is Victoria Penrose. I'm a makeup artist in TV and for celebrity, and I'm going to show you how and where to put your blush, your contour, your bronzer and your highlighter. Okay, so my first stage is the foundation. This creates a really smooth and even base for me to add in everything else after. Now my foundation is finished on my model's face, I've got a really blank canvas. Sometimes when your foundation is done and it's powdered and set, do you find that it can just be like a one wash of colour? That's where your contouring comes in, because we're going to start building the face back in. I'm actually using a powder contour. I find this works really well when I've set and powdered my face already. So I'm not introducing an oil contour into an already powdered face, which can stick and become quite tacky. So I'm going to go in with a really pale shade and just look at my model and just decide what areas I want to slightly slim down, what areas I want to create some definition and some shape. So we normally head around the forehead first and gently taper in a little bit of colour from the top of the forehead down towards the brow. Much like a bronzer, we're actually trying to hit the areas that the sunlight might create a natural shadow. So I'm going to take that down into the cheekbones and underneath the jawline, from the forehead into the cheekbones and down to the jawline. It's quite an easy sweep of colour, but I'm not adding too much to my brush. I'm just gently building it in and going over the areas I've already done so I don't get any hard lines and it stays really soft and really natural. The general rule of thumb with any type of contour is just to look at where the sun would hit the face and where the shadows would naturally fall and try and build those in. If I've got a light source coming from above, I know I'm going to need contour into the cheekbone and into the jawline and maybe a little bit around the forehead, just to taper the shape of the forehead around. Contour can be quite excessive. I've noticed a lot of people, especially on social media, as the trends have developed over the years, they start doing the nose, the chin, really strongly into the cheekbones. Each to their own, it all looks wonderful, and if that's what you like to do. I like to keep things a little bit more subtle with my clients. I find contour and bronzer can be very confusing to lots of people. The definition of a contour is something that was traditionally used to really narrow certain parts of the face, maybe to slim down the nose, taper down the forehead, whereas a bronzer would be slightly more of an overall wash of colour, a real sun-kissed effect. So I'm going to go in on my model with a matte bronzer now, very similar to a contour. I am actually going to use it in similar places, but not in such defined, precise areas. I'm actually just going to sweep over the forehead with my bronzer, just so it looks like the sun has really beautifully caught her, and then I'm going to bring that down to her cheekbones as well and just sweep across her cheekbones. I'm not taking it too high onto the upper cheekbone, I'm not going too low into my contour, it's just where the sun would naturally hit. Maybe a little bit on the nose as well, and that's really the only areas I'm going to pop my bronzer. Quite often I see people putting blusher in the wrong parts of their face. They put it in the cheekbone, upper cheek area. It's actually meant to be on the flushed part of your cheek. So when you smile, it's the raised area here. It's where you'd blush naturally. I'm going to use some cream blusher on my model just because it gives a really lovely dewy glow. It reflects the light a little bit because it's slightly dewy, and it just makes her look so naturally flushed and pretty. So when you smile, it's where her cheeks are raised, and I know I'm just going to apply it to that highest area. The great thing about a cream blush is it adds a little bit of a dewy glow. Highlighter, where to put it. It should be where the sun is just hitting. Let me go ahead and show you exactly where I think it should work. I get my model just to turn so I can see where the sun is hitting her. I'm just going to add it down onto the top of that cheekbone and back down to the top of that cheekbone. I'm just stippling it on. I'm going to take a little bit more, maybe a little bit on the cupid's bow. If you'd like a little bit down the middle of the nose, take that really easy on the nose. Too much can look really, really fake. And a little bit up into the brow bones. Then I'm going to go in with a clean brush. And I'm just going to buff that, what I've already done, just to make sure that there's no hard lines and it's really softly placed around the face. And I'm buffing it in before the product has even got time to dry. We want to look like it's an all over and gradual glow, rather than any hard lines. That way it doesn't look too fake or too harsh. While we're talking about highlighter, I'd really love to show you the places that it kind of doesn't work to put it on, and I see it happening quite a lot. Really try and avoid putting it on the cheek area where you'd naturally flush and where we'd put the blush if you smile for me. Sometimes when it's here, it just ends up looking really shiny and it's just a bit sweaty. It doesn't look great. Try and avoid it from here. Again, for the same reason, from the centre of the forehead, it just makes you look sweaty, and all down the front of the nose. It's really not needed, and especially not on the chin. Why would you need glow on your chin? Shimmery metallic highlighter isn't for everyone, sadly. If you have fine lines, dry skin or acne, it can accentuate those and it just might not be the best look for you. But it's not the end of the world. There are other products you can use to create a dewy glow. I recommend some clear lip gloss just dabbed on in certain areas, or even a silicone primer. Adds a little bit of a glow but with no colour. So there we go, there's our finished face. I've done the contouring, the bronzer, the blusher and the highlighter. Just remember, less is more, and please pay attention to where you're putting the products. It makes a big difference. I hope you loved this tutorial as much as I enjoyed doing it, and I'll see you soon.